Hello, everyone. Let's read Black Blizzards, HMH, Module 3, Week 2 Assessment. This is in reading. Read the selection and answer each question. Black Blizzards. A blizzard struck the city of Phoenix, Arizona on July 5th, 2011. But it wasn't a frozen, white, swirling kind of blizzard. This storm was gritty, dark, and smothering. It was known as a black blizzard. Black blizzard is an American nickname for a dense cloud of dry particle that blankets a large area. It is commonly called a dust storm. The Phoenix blizzard towered 5,000 feet into the air, stretched 100 miles across, and plowed a 150-mile path before it finally calmed down. During the storm, visibility was nearly zero. It is common to see a swipe of dust, dirt, or sand stirred up by a gust of wind. A black blizzard is the same experience multiplied many times over. Such storms are powered by high winds, like water flowing in a river. Fast air currents pick up and transport loose, dry soil. Lighter particles are swept up and carried for miles. Heavier particles are pushed forward by saltation. Saltation happens when blowing particles knock into stationary particles on the ground. The blowing particles set them into motion too. Soon, many particles bounce along by a series of skips and jumps. Salted particles can work together to nudge pebbles and other objects. The nudging action is called creep. Saltation and creep come together to move massive amounts of material. In September 2009, a giant dust storm moved 5 million tons of red outback soil through Sydney, Australia. Watch out! Dust storms can severely affect whatever or whoever gets in their way. The grinding blast damages crops, livestock, buildings, and vehicles. Dust storms can have harmful effects on human health, too. They make breathing illnesses much worse. Dust storms stir up bacteria, molds, and fungi, which can cause valley fever, an infection that often follows dust storms in Phoenix. Virologists believe valley fever is caused by a soil fungus. For a dust storm near you. The threat of a dust storm is greatest in Earth's dry regions. The most exposed area is the Dust Belt, or a band of dry land that stretches from northern Africa to China. Drylands also cover the western United States and most of Australia. These regions support 1/3 of the world's human population and half of its farmland and livestock. Damaging dust storms are a real concern for these places, especially when drylands are made drier by drought. A drought is a period of reduced rainfall. Droughts also worsen long-term problem of desertification. Desertification is the changing of fertile drylands into less productive deserts. Lengthy droughts, coupled with the recent steady rise in global temperatures, are worsening the quality of Earth's drylands. Unchecked desertification will produce an increase in dust storms. That's a lesson history has already taught. The worst dust storm ever to hit the United States was caused by drought and paired with land mismanagement. April 14, 1935 became known as Black Sunday. A monstrous 1,000-mile wide cloud of dust rippled across Oklahoma and Texas on a 1,500-mile charge to the Gulf of Mexico. Predicting dust storms. Dust storms are not limited to dry regions. They can build wherever there's plenty of exposed dry soil. Wind energy can drive them hundreds of miles, far from where they started. They are especially dangerous when they pop up unexpectedly. In April 2011, a dust storm engulfed a highway in northern Germany. Since dust storms are rare in Germany, motorists were taken by surprise. Dust storms are also difficult to forecast. Standard weather equipment cannot see the storms because dust particles are generally too small and non-reflective. The World Meteorological Organization of the United Nations is working to improve global dust and sandstorm forecast. 40 nations are cooperating to establish a network of satellite and ground-based monitoring stations. Station data fed into advanced computer models of the atmosphere will hopefully provide more correct dust storm predictions. As with other extreme weather events, better forecasting will enable people to take the right precautions. Number 1. Which sentence from paragraph 2 of the article is an example of a comparison? Is an example of comparison that the author uses to help readers understand how quickly soil is carried away. The question is asking us to find a comparison. A comparison is when the author shows us how one thing is like another. Listen for clue words like, as, or like, because those words often signal comparisons. You can pause the video now and go back to paragraph 2 and reread it. Number 1, which sentence from paragraph 2 of the article is an example of a comparison that the author uses to help the readers understand how quickly soil is carried by the wind? A black blizzard is the same experience multiplied many times over. B, like water flowing in a river, fast air currents pick up and transport loose soil. C, in September 2009, a giant dust storm moved 5 million tons of red outback soil. Number 2, what is the effect of using the word gritty, dark, and smothering to describe the dust storm in paragraph 1? Use details from the article to support your answer. Remember, you have to try to answer this. Let's look back at paragraph 1. The author used the words gritty, dark, and smothering. Think about what each word makes you picture or feel. Gritty. Does that feel rough or smooth? Dark. Can you see clearly when something is dark? Smothering. How would you feel if something was smothering you? These words are called sensory details. They help you imagine what the storm looks like and feels like. Now it's your job to explain the effect. In other words, how do these words help the reader understand the storm? Use details from the article in your answer. Here is a sentence starter. The effect of the word gritty, dark, and smothering is they help the reader imagine. You have to fill in the blank. Please try. Pause the video while you answer the question. Number 3, which sentence from the article best states the central idea? Remember, the central idea is that the whole article is mostly about, not just one detail. So let's look at the answer choices. A, during the storm, visibility was nearly zero. B, dust storms can severely affect whatever or whoever gets in their way. C, unchecked desertification will produce an increase in dust storms. Do these choices tell you about the entire article or just one example? Does this connect the dust storms in general or just describe one event? Only one choice tells us the big idea that covers the whole article. The other two are small details. Number 4. Read the sentence from paragraph 3. The grinding blast damages crops, livestock, buildings, and vehicles. How does the author use the phrase, the grinding blast, affect readers' understanding of black blizzards? Let's focus on the phrase, the grinding blast. When you hear the word grinding, what does it make you imagine? Something soft and general, or something rough and damaging? When you hear the word blast, does that sound calm or powerful and forceful? The author used that phrase so readers can better picture how harmful dust storms are. Think about which answer shows how those words help readers understand the danger. A. It helps readers imagine how harmful a dust storms can be. B. It helps readers imagine the limited visibility during a dust storm. C. It helps readers understand why people get sick after a dust storm. Number 5. Read the sentence from paragraph 3. Dust storms stir up bacteria, molds, and fungi, which can cause valley fever, an infection that often follows dust storms in Phoenix. Virologists believe valley fever is caused by a soil fungus. Think about the suffix logist. What is the meaning of virologist above? So let's look at the word virologist. The question wants us to think about the suffix logist. A suffix is the ending of a word that helps us understand its meaning. The suffix logist means a person who studies something. So a virologist is a person who studies what? Let's read the answer choices and ask. Which choice shows the meaning? Which one matches scientists who study tiny viruses or tiny things that cause diseases? Think about the suffix logist. What is the meaning of virologist above? A biologist who studies fungi? A doctor who tries to find cures for diseases? Scientists who study tiny particles that cause diseases? Number 6. Which detail supports the idea that dust storms are difficult to predict? Go back to the section called Predicting Dust Storms. Reread it if necessary. Which answer choice explains why it is hard for scientists to see dust storms before they happen? Some choices may be about dust storms in general, but only one choice tells us why they are hard and to forecast. A dust storm carried several tons of soil through part of Australia. B, a large part of Earth's population is harmed when droughts cause farmable lands to become unusable. C, standard weather equipment cannot see dust storms because dust particles are generally too small to detect. Number 7. Read the sentence from paragraph 5. Lengthy droughts coupled with recent steady rise in global temperatures are worsening the quality of Earth's drylands. Which meaning of the word coupled is used above? Fastened, combined, paired with one person with another. When we hear the word coupled in this sentence, does it mean fastened, like you fasten something together? Does it mean pairing or combined? Make sure you hit submit. Best of luck!